Let's go, Kingdom fans, and welcome back to All About Kingdom. And I want to say plenty about this chapter, but I gotta skip to the two most important things in this chapter. And I'm going to do them out of order and just entirely skip over the fact Rakul Khan's death was basically confirmed, because that will set me off and it will set me down a very dark path. Now, skip to the end of the chapter, we see To heroically jumping off what is at least a 30-meter wall, and not just jumping off, he angles himself to accelerate himself down so he can grab Princess Ney, who is feeling the guilt of surrendering her nation and jumping to her desired death. And To, without hesitation, just goes after her. He catches her and then literally creates an impact crater, and we just see him standing among the dust, unfazed and even unscratched. Nothing even happened. Dude is literally tougher than a version of Batman. Even better, he's the Captain America of Kingdom. He's Captain Kin. Okay, yeah, that's not great, but you get the idea. To is the true definition of manliness. And not only that, he then goes on to say if she wishes, he will dedicate his whole life to her. Come on. We know To got Riz, but now he's the unquestioned king of Riz. To me, this is the same as him confessing his love for Princess Ney. And we all know dude has been in love with her since they last met 2 years ago. You know, when she pointed her spear at him and threatened to kill him. That's just love at first sight. This is just taking romance in this series to a whole new level, and personally I love it. And presuming we get a good response from Princess Ney, I am now 100% certain we will be seeing some royal blood great general of the heaven babies, which we haven't ever seen before. And no, General Kyo of the past 6 greats doesn't count. Yes, she was royal, and yes, she became a great general, but she wasn't the offspring of one, unlike To and Princess Ney's babies to be. Now, I'm 100% confident in my theory, and when that happens, I will cry with joy. And also, a bit of a side note, Joe jumping off that wall gives me just random pictures of 2 other characters who could probably make that same stunt. Now, number 1, Wookiee, and this is literally only because he said before he died To's abilities were already on par with him, and so I believe if possible Wookiee could have done this. Now that could just mean his tactical abilities or physical abilities, but we don't know. Now the second one is Shin, because not only would Shin act well thinking, we also know years ago during the early stages of the Sanyo invasion, Shin jumped off a wall and survived without a scratch, even though he didn't have anywhere near as graceful as landing as To did. But needless to say, he has only gotten tougher since then. And the second thing to talk about in this chapter is To on his theory of death. I found it very interesting, and now when Princess Ney asked To what he thinks happens to those who die, and of course they talk about the doom, the gloom, the nothingness and the darkness, it all just perpetuates Princess Ney's nightmares of angry souls haunting her. And To, being the absolute chill bro that he is, reassures her if there is something more after death, it is a place of no anger, no suffering, and no grudges. They are at peace, and when they die, they become a warm light. They gather together and create a pillar of warmth and light. And with this description, Princess Ney finally has the light back in her eyes as she can see the pillar of light To speaks of. But still, with her fear gone, she still feels incredible guilt, and so decides to jump to rid herself of this guilt. Well, we've already talked about that, but now what I want to talk about is the light that To mentions. Now we have to presume To is talking about the light of life, which is more talked about during the Nature of Humanity arc. It's from this arc we learn of the 2 lights in this world. Now Shin describes it as the fire of life and the fire of war. So fire, light, same thing, different name. Now given To understanding of the human psyche, we have to presume that he has the understanding of not just a very wise man or a great general, but also that of an instinctual type of commander. While we all thought that the only people who could understand this fire of light, fire of war, or the light, whatever you want to call it, we thought the only people who could understand this were instinctual type commanders. And Tow has never seen or given a single inkling of potential as an instinctual type commander. However, we do know that Tow has a deep understanding of the human psyche, deeper than even Wu Sen, who is the only other general we've seen showing the ability to understand instinctual type behavior. And now that I say it, actually, so did Riboku. But Tow understands the fire of life, and Wu Sen and Riboku, of course, only understand the fire of war, which I wish I mentioned in my video comparing the two of them, but either way, this only once again proves why Tow is above Wu Sen in the rankings of the 6th grades. So now, not only do we know that Tow is an incredible warrior, a deadly tactician, a mind manipulating king, he's also got the wisdom of a man very older than him, to say the least. There's so many more layers to Tow that we just didn't know of, and now we know so much more about him in this arc. I'm so happy that we got to know more about Tow. And also, I know this isn't Kingdom related, but I am glad to see Yasuhisa taking his time talking about this mental health stuff, especially during Men's Mental Health Month. Or I suppose it's over now, but still. Suicide is an awful thing, and it can have a domino effect on people, which we can clearly see thanks to Princess Ney's attempt at it only after witnessing other people doing it. So seriously, Kingdom fans, please take care of your mental health and do not be afraid to talk to someone. And so, to get away from this dreary stuff, Kingdom fans, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you do, feel free to smash that like button down below, and since you're down there, you may as well drop a comment, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you can stay updated on all things Kingdom. Hope to see you in the next one.